Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to practice some batoning. Stick around. Alright guys, full disclosure. When it comes to bushcraft or survival skills, I am an absolute novice. I'm just learning all this stuff. In fact, up until a couple of months ago, I had never even heard the term batoning. Since then, over the course of the last couple of months, I've watched a number of YouTube videos, quite a few actually, on the topic of batoning, and I've watched a lot of people do it. I've also learned that it's pretty controversial. There are some people who believe that batoning is an absolutely essential bushcraft or survival skill. Others say that it is something you should never do under any circumstances, right? So for me, I've done this just a couple of times before. A couple of weeks ago, I was out in the backyard. I thought I'd try it for the first time, and then last week I was out in the woods with my kids, and we did batoning to process a piece of fat wood. And I think it's a cool skill to know. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. So I've been batoning a little bit today out here in the woods, and it's been fun. All that being said, what exactly is batoning? Well, it's when you take a stick or a baton and you use this baton to strike your knife into another piece of wood for the purpose of processing that wood down for like firewood, or processing fat wood. Or I've seen people use batoning to cut notches into to logs to do bushcraft builds. I've seen people use batoning to cut down small trees. So there's a number of different uses for the skill of batoning. Now, all that being said, one of the main arguments against batoning is that an axe is a better tool for that kind of job, and I would agree, it is. There's better tools for processing firewood. However, you don't always have an axe. Knowing how to use a knife to do that, I think, is a good skill. So we're gonna get into it now. All right. So first things first, let's talk about the baton. All right, this is a piece of hardwood. It's a piece of gamble oak, also known as scrub oak. I went ahead and I shaved some of the bark off down here so that I have a nice handle. You don't necessarily have to do that. As you can see, I've been batoning with this piece of wood already this morning. Also, when batoning, they say that you want a good full tang knife. Now, this is the Buck Selkirk. It's a new knife. I just got it a few months ago. Once I got into bushcraft, I started buying all sorts of new new toys, new items, new gear for myself, and this is one of the new purchases that I made. Now, as I was researching knives, again, I was learning all this new knife terminology. I had never heard the phrase full tang, so I didn't know what that meant. I do now. It simply means that the steel goes the full length through the handle, right? I don't know if you can see that, but the steel runs all the way through the handle, and that makes a sturdier knife. So if you're going to be beating on it with a stick with batoning, you want a good, sturdy, full tang knife. Right, so I got a couple pieces of wood. There's lots of trees that have been knocked down, that have fallen around here, and so I got a couple logs here that I want to process down. Also, I found this down tree. You want a good sturdy surface to do your batoning on. You don't want to do it on the ground because they say that's too soft. You don't want to do it on like a rock or a stone, because if you cut through that and you hit that stone with the cutting edge of your knife, you're going to dull the blade. So I got this down tree here. So what you do is you place your knife on top with a good firm grip. You want your knife perpendicular. You want it straight up and down. You don't want it, cocked to one side or the other. You want to hit straight down with the knife. Sorry, you want to hit straight down with your baton on a nice straight up and down knife. All right, so here we go. There you go. So then you take the halves and you split it again. There you go. So they say that if you're in a wet environment, if it's been raining a lot, you can baton the wood to get to the inner dry part part of the wood, so that way if you're making a fire, you have now the dry wood that's been exposed. Well, there you have it, batoning. Hope you enjoyed the video.